Howdy, gentlemen. Sorry for the bit of a late video here, but I was just spending most of my time doing my Aaron Rodgers impression, who is absolutely playing like a good quarterback and not trying to screw over the Packers. Anyway, back to week one of fantasy football and back to our recaps for everything that happened. Before you answer, yes, I do have a blanket like hanging from my window because the shitty webcam on my laptop thinks that's brighter than the goddamn sun if I don't have that up there. And since the Vikings are complete shit and lost to the Bengals this week, I got eliminated from all my survival pools and will not have the money to get a better one anytime soon. So let's break it down. We'll start as normal with all of our top players. Um, a lot of a lot of crazy scores this week and a lot of just individual and team scoring. So quarterbacks, um, both just a shade over 33. The top one was Kyler Murray for Steve, and then Mahomes for Nate. Running backs, McCaffrey was the top, 27 for Ryan, and then Mixon had 25 for Nate. Um, Wide receivers, Amari Cooper had 30, almost 39 for Dave. And would you look at that? Tyreek Hill had 37 for, you guessed it, Nate. Man, I really would have hated to be his opponent this week. Anyway, keeping going. Tight ends. The top scorer was Gronk with 29, who was on the waiver wire. I believe Nate picked him up this morning. And Darren Waller had 26.5 for Tom. Only he'd had about 29.5, but that's beside the point. Flexes, Debo Samuel for me got 30, almost 32 points, and pretty much everything Ayuk should have gotten. And Adam Thielen got 30 for Tom. Defenses, we were terrible here. The Cardinals were the top with 17, and the Saints were next with 14, both on the waiver wire. Kickers, we were also a bit shit. Joey Sly got 14, Robbie Gould got 13, also both on the waiver wire. So, like I did last year, I'll be tracking who has the most top players, and we'll go through it every week. Currently, it's still the waiver wire with 5, and followed by Nate with 3 of them. So, let's get into the matchups here. But I'm gonna try it a little different this time. Last year I went through each person in the ranks individually, but this time I'm just gonna try going through the matchups, so I don't have to sit here and talk for 30 minutes because good God, nobody wants to see that. So since I am on uh, my team on ESPN, it's always gonna have me first, which is unfortunate this time. So I played Nate, and it went predictably. I think so. There should be a score up above me here for this. If not, I'll talk to my editor afterwards. I hear he's a bit shit, so we'll see what happens. Um, so like my namesake, the actual Bishop Sycamore Centurions, my team failed to show up and got walloped. Uh, I was giving Nate was out here last weekend, and I was giving him so much crap after the Thursday night game where between Zeke and Zerloin, he had 15 points, and I was really confident I was going to win in that. Um, until the Packers game when Aaron Jones got less than Zeke did, so that was fun. Um, and also, I know the Bears are bad, but I didn't think they were negative defensive points bad. Um, but anyway, yeah, great week for Nate. Scored so shockingly the second most points. But pretty much everyone on his team did good. Bench was looking solid in terms of production later down the road. My bench is something. It doesn't seem like the Le'Veon Bell experiment's going to work in Baltimore because they signed darn near every possible running back who's ever played before, except possibly Frank Gore, but I'm sure he's coming next. Um, so yeah, I still feel like my team is solid. I think we'll be able to bounce back from this. I started last year off with a loss and made it to the championship to get my teeth kicked in. So hopefully we can do that again this year too. Moving on to our next match here, we've got Tom and Steve. Um, this one looked like, well, it was really close. It was within like a point and a half when it ended on Monday night. And then ESPN did score corrections and took away a fumble for Kittle. So Steve won by 3.5. Um, which I guess it would have been is better for Tom than had Waller caught, another had one more catch and he won by like 1 point, and then that happened. That would have sucked. Um, but yeah, once again, Steve's team was looking solid. Um, all the running backs, Kyler Murray's playing like he should be. Um, it Mixed feelings on Steve's bench. Judy got hurt unfortunately, so he's out. I think I heard 6 weeks or something like that. Not totally sure. Um, Mostard's out, which will hurt Nate, but Steve's got Trey Sermon, and like him, I'm hoping that works out because I've got Sermon in another league. So I hope that they'll play him some more. Um, Looking at Tom's side, now this we're gonna bring back an old fan favorite here, and Tom is gonna get the hat of shame for the week. Um, it was a tough call this week. There were a lot of contenders for it, but this is mainly going to Tom because he was trying to be the super smart fantasy guru guy and not draft McCaffrey at number one. Well, we'll see how that pays out down the line, but it did not pay off this week because had he had McCaffrey, he would have won. Um, but other than that, it is looking like again week one. It's hard to say. It's looking like Antonio Brown's going to be could be a steal if Brady keeps looking his way. Um, Mark Ingram looked surprising. I don't want to say good, but surprisingly like a workhorse in Houston. Um, so so he's got some potential here. I think Tom's team will be all right. This is again these are two very high scores, so it's not like these guys really have anything to worry about. Before we go into our next matchup between Jose and Randall, I'm gonna need to take just a brief intermission, so I will be right back. Okay, we're back. I had to go real quick and put on a bunch of protective gear here because we're about to get into our cripple fight of the week. Um, Both, or I should say, the only two teams here to score under 100 points, and let's be honest, neither one of them deserve this win in the slightest. Um, Randall's just impressive, being under 80. That could potentially be one of the lowest scores I've ever seen, even though we don't have the stupid quarterback scoring this year. But still bad. Jose's strategy of draft zero running backs until round seven took another hit when Gus Edwards got his ACL torn, becoming the 1700th Raven running back to do it this year, I believe, if my count's correct. Um, Somehow he still got decent points out of Melvin Gordon, which I am shocked at. I don't expect that to continue at all, but who knows? Um, Looking at the rest of the team, um, Jose might have the same problem as me. If the Packers' offense continues to be terrible, Devontae Adams isn't going to do much. Um, and his other running like Gaskin, I still like Gaskin. He's doing okay. And outside of them, picked up J.D. McKissick. Interesting move. We're just going to let that go. Yeah, Jose, you might want to make some trades if you can there, because that's it's going to be a rough time. I don't even know what to say about Randall's team. His move to draft Big Bobby Tanyan in round, I don't know what, like 5 or something, that seemed like a dumb move, is looking like even more of a dumb move now that he scored 2 points. Um, Josh Allen not living up to his draft stock yet at 17. That's all right though. He did draft two quarterbacks, and his backup was Aaron Rodgers, who got less than two. So, okay, we'll ignore that. Um, and that's not even the most impressive. He started Sony Michel, um, for LA, who managed to get point 0.2 points. That is something right there. Yeah, we're just gonna. Oh, Saquon only got three too. Damn, yeah, this team's a mess. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going off that because I am it is making me physically sick to actually look at this. And as we're moving, I'm going to take all this crap off, so I'll be back again. Okay, here we go. We got two more matchups to go through. Oh, I forgot to point out team names. Extra bonus points to Nate, me, Steve, Neil, Arias, Ryan, and Dave for actually having good team names out there. As creative as Jose, Tom, and Randall's are, they're not, and they're pretty shit. So, looking at this next one here between Arias and Neil, this was a solid matchup. Look at Arias first on the winning side. I was talking to him after the Eagles game, and he was saying, yeah, after the first drive where Calvin Ridley got about 4 catches and all but one of his points, I think he was feeling good, and well, they didn't do any more though. So hopefully the Falcons offense can pick it up. I doubt it. Um, Somehow, shockingly, Travis Kelsey was not one of our top tight ends this week. Still got already 25 points. So he was literally less than a point away from the top. But see, that's what happens when you shave the beard off. He's just not performing like he used to. Can we say? Um, what else for Arias' team? Not too much. I didn't look. Whew. 26 out of Corey Davis on the bench is interesting. I'm betting Arias is going to start him next week because of that, and he's probably going to get like 3 catches for 8 yards or something. So keep on the lookout for that. I personally am. Um, Neil's team, not bad. Um, Almost under 100 points. So it's. I was trying to figure out why, and then until you find, boom, Ayuk got him a fat 0 points, which was fantastic. I am 90% sure he played and was doing things, but oh yeah, here we go. 26 snaps with no targets. Yeah, so that was fun. Um, so yeah, now that's gonna be an interesting one going down the road. What you actually do with him and how he's gonna fit into that offense. Um, I Neil, as you should be. I'm worried about Antonio Gibson. Um, Love him. He's one of my favorite fantasy players. Um, but with old Fitzmagic going down, who knows what's going to happen here? I don't think it's going to be anything good for him. Um, and also, Neil still, really homering with the Bears here. Mooney and Justin Fields on the bench. Um, for everyone's sake, hopefully they put Fields in like this week because, dear God, that they just looked awful against the Rams. All right, moving on to our last one, which was our highest scoring game of the week. Dear God, didn't see this coming from either side. Um, was Dave and Ryan. Um, Dave's pick of Hurts late in the game is looking really good. Again, we played the Falcons, who are absolutely shit. Um, so it doesn't say much, but there's some excitement there. Dave's also got Devonta Smith on his bench, which is looking like it could be a good stack. Again, could just be a fluke. Um, Mari Cooper pretty much carried Dave's team for this one. Um, we'll see. He is, at least the last couple of years, he's been notorious for, going just absolutely ham some weeks and then getting like 10 points or 5 points the next week. So we'll see what happens there. Um, Ryan's team, I don't understand. Somehow his mistake of drafting his second and third round picks of wide receivers who were like 6 round projections somehow worked out. Tyler got 26, Deontay Johnson got 14, which is respectable. Um, Ryan did actually have the points on his bench to win this one. Swift, Jamar Chase, Jamal Williams, which I am just noticing now that he has both Lions running backs, and somehow they both got roughly 25 points, which is ridiculous. Um, there's no way he could have known or been expected to actually have them active to score those points, so I can't be mad about that. But man, that is if Ryan's team can somehow keep doing this, he might have a chance to be the only one to beat Steve again this year. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, Yeah, that is the last one. That is the last one for this week. So just to recap here, the standings at the moment are Dave in first place, followed by Nate, Steve, Arias, Jose, Ryan, Tom, me, Neil, and then Randall. Yeah, it's only week one, so it doesn't really matter. But it's shaping up like it's going to be a fun season for most of us, unless you're Randall. But we're gonna ignore that one right now. So that's all I got for this week. Um, hopefully, I will be out of town next week, so I will see what I can do in terms of it. I might take my laptop with me, or I might just try to do something short on my phone. I don't know. We'll figure something out. It'll happen because I know this is the only amount of joy Steve has in his life on a weekly basis. So I would feel bad if I wasn't there for him. Um, but that's gonna do it for me this week. Hope everybody's fantasy teams, everything go well this weekend, and I'll catch you guys next week. Adios.